gonna give the trucks a moment. Give the trucks a moment. All right. All right. Welcome to the Tesla semi truck event. I hope you like what you see. I'm going to tell you about everything that this truck can do. It blows my mind. I think it'll blow yours. Starting with performance. We came up with that I think really describes the performance well. So it's a technical term, but let's show you what that means in acceleration. So one thing we care about Tesla is we really care about performance. We want a vehicle that feels incredible, that accelerates like nothing else. Let's show what the truck, what it's like to be in a Tesla truck. This is real time. Okay. Okay. That's the Tesla Semi will go 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. So that's by itself or with a trailer. Now, at 80,000 pounds max gross vehicle weight, that's the most amount of weight you can carry on a US highway. This is the real-time acceleration of a Tesla Semi. On the left, the thing that looks like it's not moving is a diesel truck. Give it a moment. I'm sorry to apologize. It's boring. I know. Eventually it'll get there. All right. Even with 80,000 pounds pulling max gross, getting 60 miles an hour in 20 seconds. That's what it can do. Now, what about up a hill? The best diesel trucks can only do 45 miles an hour up a 5% grade. Tesla Semi can do 65 miles an hour up a 5% grade. That's 65 miles an hour continuous at max gross. What this means is that if you're pulling a load over the Rockies or some mountainous terrain up a hill, you're earning per mile. You're earning 50% more per mile than you are in a diesel truck. That's a giant. So, now, one of the biggest questions we've been asked about electric trucks is, well, how far? Well, let's find out. So, 500-mile range. But what does a 500-mile range mean? And by the way, it's 500 miles at maximum weight at highway speed. So you're doing like 60 miles an hour. That's a worst case scenario. But what it means is that because the vast majority of routes, because the vast majority are under 250 miles, it means that you can go to your destination and back even if your destination has no charging. You can go there and back, go there and home without recharging. Deliver a load out to the middle of nowhere and come back. Now, how do we achieve this? One of the ways we do this is we design the Tesla truck to be like a bullet. So whereas a normal diesel truck is designed more like a barn wall, this is a bullet. You can see this in the drag coefficient. So the Tesla Semi has a 0.3 drag coefficient. This is a really good number. By way of comparison, a Bugatti Chiron, which is a $2 million supercar, has a 0.38 drag coefficient. This has got a better drag coefficient than a supercar. And by the way, you can see that in the design. Part of the way we achieve that is with the bullet-shaped nose. We also have side flaps that map to whatever trailer you're pulling, whether it's a new trailer or old trailer. The side flaps will map to whatever trailer you're pulling and close the gap. So this makes a huge difference to the drag coefficient. The bottom of the truck is also completely flat, so the air can flow straight through. These are things that you don't see on any other trucks, and it gives us incredible highway range. It's one of the key factors. We also have 4 independent motors. So there's a motor on each of the rear wheels and an independent front suspension, so it's incredibly comfortable to drive this truck. 7 hours of driving. Which means, what this means in practice is that by the time you're done with your brake, the truck is ready to go. You will not be waiting for your truck to charge. This is a big deal. And because of the Tesla megachargers that will be installing worldwide, just like we've got superchargers installed worldwide, you've seen the supercharger map. It started off with just a few chargers in California. Now we have superchargers throughout the world, and you'll be able to go anywhere with a Tesla consumer vehicle. The same will be true of the Tesla Semi. You'll be able to travel anywhere in the world on the Tesla megacharger network. And that means we can guarantee the electricity rates because these will be solar-powered megachargers that charge to a Tesla power pack. It's 24/7 guaranteed low electricity. And because these megachargers are solar-powered, your truck is running on sunlight. Okay. What about safety? Now, when I say safety, I'm talking about the driver's safety. I'm also talking about other cars on the road. I'm talking about pedestrians, safety for everyone. If you've got 80,000 pounds moving at 60 miles an hour, it's a very dangerous thing. Every truck we sell will have enhanced autopilot as standard. Okay. The truck will automatically brake. Yeah, you can read it too. It'll automatically brake, but it will actually automatically lane keep as well. So even if you're in the emergency, the truck will stay in lane and gradually come to a halt and put on the emergencies. If it doesn't hear a response from you, it will actually call emergency services and get an ambulance. It's going to take care of you. It's going to take care of other cars. It's going to take care of pedestrians. This is a massive increase in safety. A few other things about safety. With that central position, you're in a very safe position. Even if you were to collide with another semi, you have a low center of gravity that gives you really good handling. It means the probability of a rollover is massively reduced because the battery pack is in the floor pan, and rollover risk is dramatically reduced. And perhaps most importantly, jackknifing is usually the worst nightmare of a trucker. How do you stop your vehicle from jackknifing if you're in difficult conditions? The truck will automatically stop jackknifing because it's got independent motors on each wheel, and it'll dynamically adjust the torque on each wheel as possible. Your worst nightmare is gone with this truck. Gone. You never have to worry about it. So it's a miserable job. Reliability. Reliability is incredibly important. The truck is your life, it's your business. The truck breaks down, you disappoint your customers. It's a horrible day, it could be a horrible week. It could break down in the middle of nowhere. The safety issues. Reliability is incredibly important. We're putting massive attention truck, incredibly reliable. And that's why we are guaranteeing that this truck will not break down for 1,000,000 miles. We're guaranteeing it won't break down for a million miles because it has 4 independent motors. You can lose 2 of those 4 motors and the truck will still keep going. In fact, even if you only have 2 of the 4 motors active, it'll still be a diesel truck. It's not fair, really. So then it has, there's a few other benefits as well. Brakes are a big deal for trucks. You got to stop 80,000 pounds. It's not easy. That's for a lot of brake wear. But because with an electric motor, so every time you brake, that kinetic energy of braking goes straight back into the battery pack instead of wearing down a brake pad. You never need to replace brake pads ever. So no brake pad changes ever. You don't have to worry about transmission. There's no transmission. Transmission can't brake. There are no emissions, no scrubbers, no differentials, and this is the feature I like best: clear explosion-proof glass. Close. I mean, it's close. So standard glass. Now, why is this important? Because you see, look, nothing. It's a nuclear explosion. That's incredible. So actually, what's important here is, survives a nuclear explosion, or you get a full refund. The reason this is important is because truck windshields are huge, and they crack about once a year. And if the truck windshield is cracked, you're not allowed to drive. So actually, it's truck off-road shield, and that means lost revenue, disappointed customers. It's a terrible day, and if you're stuck in the middle of nowhere, it can take ages to get a new windshield. So actually, this detail matters a lot to someone who really understands trucking. It's small but very important. Then we have, in terms of connectivity to your truck, understanding what's going on. We have the Tesla app that gives you full information about your truck. This is sort of normal. It's like we take it for granted if you've got a Model S or Model X or something like that. But this is not normal, actually, for trucks. You have full access to all your truck information. You've got remote diagnostics. You can see what's going on. Preventative maintenance. The truck will actually anticipate when it needs maintenance and inform you ahead of time. It connects with the fleet. So if you're trying to manage a fleet of thousands of trucks, this is also incredibly important. All this data is coming in. You know exactly what's going on. It's going to really help you manage the trucking. Having said all this, you're probably wondering how much is this going to cost, because Tesla stuff is expensive. But we realize that the economics of trucking matter tremendously. If your cost per mile is too high, it doesn't make economic sense. You can't make it work. So we've really thought about this a lot. And when you take everything into account, you take the lease cost, the insurance cost, maintenance, all of the factors, the fully accounted for true cost of trucking, a diesel truck will be 20% more expensive than a Tesla Semi per mile. So, I want to be clear, this is from day one. So from day one, having a Tesla Semi will beat a diesel truck on economics, day one. And this is a worst case scenario. So it gets better than this is the worst case scenario comparison. This is taking max vehicle gross. It's going at 60 miles an hour, and it's assuming $250 gasoline price. We're guaranteeing a 7-cent kilowatt wholesale price. I want to be clear about that. This is real. These are real numbers, and it only gets better than this. This is a worst case scenario. Now, a Tesla truck considered by itself, but what if you have a convoy? So what if you have two trucks following? So you're more like a train driver. In fact, the convoy technology, the tracking technology, this is something that we are confident we can do today 10 times safer than a human driver. So I want to be clear, this is something we can do now. And wait for that plane. There you go. Now if you look at the economics of a truck convoy, it gets way better. Now a diesel truck is twice as expensive as a Tesla Semi. What this means is it's not just economic suicide to use one diesel truck, it's economic suicide for rail. This beats rail. And that's I think really quite profound. We're confident that this is a product that is better in every way from a feature standpoint, that wins on economics against diesel trucks in a worst case scenario, and that defeats rail in a convoy scenario. And production begins 2019. So if you order now, get the truck in 2 years. All right. All right, so that's the Tesla Semi. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. All right, guys, take it away. Thank you. Thanks.